In this powerful and emotional tale of betrayal and resilience, a woman discovers her husband's affair just after giving birth to their first son. J. Owen her on this journey of empowerment and self-respect, and get ready to say, "What a story!" Before starting, subscribe to the channel and activate the bell to receive notifications for upcoming videos. Husband cheated on me 2 weeks after the birth of our son. This is my first post ever on Reddit, so hopefully I'm doing this right. This is going to be a long one. I apologize in advance. My soon-to-be ex-husband and I have been married for 8 years. We have 2 sons together. Oldest is 2 years and youngest is 5 months old. I left him immediately in April 2022 after finding out that he'd been cheating on me with a younger, much skinnier woman. 2 weeks after the birth of my son, which was around March 2020, my husband started picking up more and more overnights at work. Even after promising while I was pregnant with my older son that he would ask his boss to lessen the overnight jobs since we're having a baby soon. He used to FaceTime me while he was on his overnight trips. But after the birth of our older son, that stopped completely. Also, when we'd visit my family, who lives 3 hours away from us, my husband would leave their house early in the morning and wouldn't come back until late in the night. It bothered my parents and me, but I let it go. I later found out that App lives less than 10 minutes from my parents. After my son's birth, he would start petty arguments with me and constantly throw the divorce card around, and would say that our marriage would be so much better if I wasn't depressed, anxious all the time. I went through severe PPD and PPA after the birth of my son due to infertility and miscarriages prior. I would cry and beg him not to file for divorce and tell him that I would try to fix myself so we could have a happier marriage. He was never like this at all before having a baby. So I chalked it up to the stress and lack of sleep after a new baby, even though he never got up during the night, nor really helped much with the baby. Fast forward to April 2022. I received a Facebook Messenger call from App's husband, letting me know that my husband and App have been seeing each other for over a year. But he recently found out. Obbs found my husband's Facebook, which showed he was still married to me. That's how he was able to find me. I asked my husband if this was true, and he proceeded to just stare at me blankly, then said, "The marriage is over. Sell the house." I wailed and cried the entire night. The next day, I called my dad and asked him to come pick me and my then 1-year-old son. I've been living with my parents ever since. My parents absolutely hate his guts and is banned from entering their home. I don't blame them. Apparently, my Steebox and App were going to leave each other's spouses and get married. I also found out that App is also illegal, so I'm sure she's only with my husband to get her green card. I found out shortly after leaving my husband that I was pregnant. He wanted me to abort the baby because he can't afford child support for 2 kids. Oh well. I went though with the pregnancy, and I now have an amazing 5-month-old. My husband was not in the delivery room and did not meet him until last week. He also did not ask me about how the pregnancy was going, how our sons were doing, etc. He would visit our older son once every 6 weeks. Back in November, I filed for divorce. I wanted sole custody of the kids since neither of them were ever left in his care for more than an hour, and I wanted 65 of the house. We live in an equitable distribution law state. I purchased the house with all of my savings, and I'm still paying the monthly mortgage, even though I haven't been living at the house for more than a year. My Steox said if he's forced to pay the mortgage, he will let it go to foreclosure. Not sure if this is relevant, but he is on the deed of the house, not the mortgage. 1 week after my husband was served the divorce papers, I received an email from my lawyer's office that he's contesting the divorce. Great. He's seeking half the house and 50's custody of the kids. He feels that paying $1,255 a month for 2 kids is too much money, and he has a life to live too. Meanwhile, he spends thousands of dollars a month on App. Oh, and here's the kicker. He's not sure if the second baby is his, so he's seeking a paternity test. What a joke. We have a court date coming up in a few weeks. And to be honest, I'm so nervous. I do not want my husband getting split custody of the kids. I can't believe this is my life now. I feel hopeless. Please tell me it gets better. Thank you in advance. Update. Thank you all for the supportive comments on my last post. It's very much appreciated. Last night, my Stubbs called me and I foolishly answered thinking it was regarding our sons. He starts making small talk, then eventually shifts to another topic about how our sons need both parents in their lives, how he loves them so much, wants us to be together as a family. You get the picture. So then I told him no, you don't love the kids. You threatened to quit your job to avoid paying child support, which is for the kids. You didn't meet our 5-month-old son until last month. You only see our 2-year-old once every 6 weeks for 1 hour. And after our first son was born, you were barely home because of works. You spent so much time with the app that I was taking care of our older son 100% of the time, alone, while also working full-time. Plus, the OBS reached out to me a couple months ago to inform me that Stubbs and App were very much still together. He went quiet after I said this. And then he mentioned that they're not together anymore. So this is why he reached out. He's lonely. Mind you, my Stubbs barely has any family and no friends. Since the boys and I left, he has no one. So our sons and I are his backup. We're worth more than that. I'm also pretty sure he wants us to be together only because I was financially supporting all of us. Now that Stubbs is paying his own bills, it's too much for him. I told him that if he had really wanted us to be a family, he should have always put us first. He should have never cheated. But it's too late for that now. I can tell he wanted to cry from the way his voice kept cracking. I was beyond the point of caring. I was very matter of fact. And I ended the conversation by saying, "See you in court on Thursday. Let's see some comment." Yes, girl. That the thing with losers like him, they never see how much you do for them until you're no longer there. He made his bed, and I hope he lays in it miserably. Next time he calls and doesn't talk about kids, just put phone down. Don't even bless him with small talk. He's just a lonely loser until he find his next victim or that HOE goes back. Good luck up you. Your children would be so proud how strong you are being. Comment 2. See you in court on Thursday. Nice power move, and it removes any of his fantasies he tried to sell you. You are definitely a high-value woman because you respect yourself. Comment 3. You go girl. I'm weak. I left my husband, but I still feel like when he says something, I avoid saying anything back. 'Cause I don't want to make him sad, angry, or whatever. Don't know why I can't you speak up like you telling him what he did to me. Our family for so many years are simply not okay. What do you think about the story? What's your tips? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. And if you have any similar experiences or stories to share, we'd love to hear them. That's all for today's story. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like button, share it with your friends, and subscribe for more deep dives into the intriguing world of human experiences. Stay curious, and we'll see you in the next video.